it's not our marriage. It's not that. It's the fact that he had cancer and
Sure.
is dying and in pain.
We're gonna go to those topics too. I'm trying to be a little systematic, and they're gonna want to know about, I guess, about your joint assets and about what your marriage looked like if they're gonna try to go after, you once he's passed away. Okay. All right. Can we talk about your medical insurance? Is that
Yeah.
Ready for that?
Yeah. I'm ready for that.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Well, let me have it. Tell me about it.
I have medical insurance through my job, and when I filed my complaint, they refused to pay for it. And I mean, what else am I paying? What else are they paying for? What else is it that they're there for? They're there. I think they're just doing this because they want to, renege on their end of the bargain. They just don't want to. They probably do this to everyone. They just, deny everybody their claims, and of course, me.
Yeah, I understand. That can be really frustrating. Okay, so what was the name of your insurance?
It was Blue Cross Blue Shield. I think. Yeah, it was Blue Cross Blue Shield for sure. I don't know what are the two big ones. It's through my job. It was through my job. So I'm sorry. I never really looked at. I'm pretty sure it's Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Do you have a copy of it with you, maybe in your purse?
No, I didn't bring I tore that shit up. Excuse my French. I didn't really want to have anything to do with them after they denied my claim. I'm considering the situation. I was not really emotionally very stable, so of course I had a little, needless to say, I don't want anything to do with them, but I think I have some stubs from work that I have, and maybe I think they usually have the insurance I can even call my job. They'll tell me.
Okay.
I can get that.
That's fine. I'll after we finish with all of this, I'll give you a list of things that maybe, helpful documents that you could, if you can get, would be helpful for me to look at. But we'll worry about that at the end. Okay. Was your husband also covered by this insurance?
Yeah, it was both of us. We were both covered.
And your insurance covered hospital stays as well as co-payments?
Yeah, I only had like a 20% deductible. I mean, that was, of course, that also had an influence on my financial statement, on my financial situation, but I would be able to handle, 20%. I can't handle $20,000.
Okay. You said 20% deductible?
Yeah.
20%, is that a copay, maybe?
I don't know these medical terms.
No problem.
Okay.
All right, and when you received the denial, did you read their reason?
Yeah, they said that they don't cover experimental treatments. And then I was talking to somebody and I asked them, what's the deal? Like, what I was just venting, and they're like, yeah, a lot of companies, they don't cover experimental treatments. I mean, I think I must be like the only person in the world who had no idea, but shouldn't the doctor have told me that? I mean, shouldn't he tell me that this is something, I mean, that's a lot of money to, if he's aware of this, I think it's information that I need before, any steps. I mean,
I can understand how that would be super frustrating.
Yeah, you have no idea. And everyone's just giving me the runaround. The hospital just wants their money. They don't care. They say that they've covered their asses. This insurance company doesn't care. They're not going to cover this expense, and it all falls on me. What did I do? What did I do? I was just a teacher. I had a job, I had insurance, like every other person who's responsible has, and what did that get me? $20,000 of debt. And debt collectors harassing me.
I'm sorry, this is such a frustrating process for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to
Please,
yell at
this
you. I'm just
This is
beyond.
a safe space, and you are totally fine letting it all out. I understand, and it is very, very frustrating, and I'm happy to listen. Are you ready to move on a little bit?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're doing really good. I'm getting some great information. Okay. Did your husband have life insurance?
No, we never took out any life insurance.
No. Okay. Now I want to start discussing your husband's illness a little bit more. I understand that this is going to be particularly hard, so please let me know how you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Well, he was in the hospital, and he was just in just constant pain. I could just, he was like semi-conscious. I didn't even really communicate with him, but I could see it in his face. He was wince, and I just wanted them to do anything possible. So the doctor came to me, and he suggested this experimental treatment where they would put some kind of device, like a pump. I don't know the medicine behind it, but it's some kind of pump that they would put inside his body under his skin, near where the cancer was on his liver, and then it would release this pain medication. And I just wanted his pain to stop, but I went to ask him if this is something that he wanted to do, and he just laid there, just wincing and I just wanted him to be like, to stop the pain. I just wanted the pain to stop. Sure. And so I agreed to it. I signed the consent form, and they proceeded with this procedure, and then my husband died 4 days later.
Thank you. I know that was hard.
Yeah.
Can you tell me when he was first diagnosed?
Oh, it was, like about a year ago. It really just feels like the minute he was diagnosed, we were in the hospital, and just deterioration, and
So he was diagnosed a year ago.
Yeah.
And what was his doctor's name?
His doctor's name was Barry Schneider. Yeah, it was Barry for sure. I know it's Dr. Schneider, of course, but I think it's Barry.
And was he the doctor for your husband the whole time he was ill?
Yeah, he was actually. We had first gone to our general practitioner. I didn't think we needed to go to some kind of specialist to have such high. We was just suffering from some minor pains at that time. So Mike, our general practitioner, Mike Levy, he recommended that we go see Barry Greenstein. He said he's a really good oncologist, and we just, so we went to see, and we find that he was already stage 2 at that time, and he just deteriorated so quickly.
Do you remember when you found that out, that he was stage 2?
No, but I did. We got a letter from Barry. So yeah, he sent us a letter around that in the mail. yeah, he sent us a letter to come in, and yeah, it was within maybe 2 or 3 days. We immediately, he couldn't say it in the letter, but he told us to come into the office. He had important information for us, and when we went in, that's when we found out.
And what happened after you found out?
Yeah, my husband, he just started immediately on the chemo and the radiation. I mean, it's like a blur. The whole time. It's just constantly in the hospital, and I try to not. But I don't want to remember my husband like that. I just wanted him to be comfortable in his last days. I just didn't want him to be in pain. And I signed the consent
Okay, well, why don't we go ahead and talk about this procedure then? Well, I guess first, can I recap a little bit for you? Just let me know if I get anything wrong. You said that about a year ago, your husband started having general pain, and you went to your general practitioner, and your general practitioner, Mike Levy, told you to maybe go see a specialist, and he referred you to Dr. Barry Schneider, and so you went and made an appointment with him, and he sent you a letter and asked you to report to come into his office. And when you did, he told you and your husband that your husband had stage 2 cancer. Have I got it about right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else about his early treatment or diagnosis that I'm left out?
No, it's this entire ordeal is really from this, experimental treatment, and I didn't know. Nobody told me how much it cost. Why didn't the doctor tell me? He was so eager to have me sign, but I'm obviously somebody not in the right state of mind to be, I don't know. I just think that, he could have done a little bit more hand holding. I didn't really read this consent form. I just signed it, and I made a mistake, I should have read what I signed.
I understand. Okay. When did Dr. Schneider first approach you about this experimental treatment?
It was maybe about a month before David passed. Yeah, I think so. Maybe 2. Like I said, it's just all like crazy, everything washed together. I had been pestering, and I had been really just on